All right, guys, welcome back into another episode of the Random Select Podcast. It's the podcast that's all about thought-provoking talk, baby. And it's the podcast that lets you know that talk can be turned all the way up. I just want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. It's your man Mario, and y'all know what it is. It's been a while since I hit you up with a video version of the podcast, but I'm getting that knocked out right now. So we doing what it does, making it do what it do. I want to thank you guys for hanging out. Don't forget, guys, you can go to therandomselect.com. Don't forget to go to anchor.fm support. Now, I don't care if you give 99 cents, $4.99, whatever you decide to give, it is appreciated. It helps us feel like we can continue with this content, and it helps me feel like that somebody out there love me. And after all, that's what we all doing it for. We all doing it for a little love. Ain't that right? So, yeah, do that, please. I appreciate it. Don't forget to join me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those places. Y'all heard me with this spiel before, but it's necessary for when we holding events, when I'm going live, you get those notifications. So turn on your notifications. Just never know what Mario might be doing out there in the streets or right here in this studio. You know what I mean? So just want to say thank you, and I love you guys. So, and we're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna get into today's subject. I ain't gonna keep you guys long because I know you got places to be, things to do, but why not spend a little time with your man Mario and appreciate it, you know what I mean? I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. So real quick, you know, when I get on these podcasts, I try to tell you the realness of what's really going on in my life, how things are really, transpiring and going in my life, right? And so today is no different. I just want to let y'all know what's been going on in my world, so y'all can say, damn, that Mario, boy, he be going through some things. And I tell y'all all the time, if I've been through some things, then you've been through some things. So I'm not alone. So if you feel like you've had something similar to what I be going through, then leave me a message somewhere out there in Facebook world. You can always leave me a message at randomselect@gmail.com. That's randomselect with 2 T's at gmail.com. And I respond as soon as I possibly can. So y'all keep that in mind. Bear that in mind when y'all sending me a message. I'll get to you as soon as I possibly can because I love you. All right, let's get into it. So recently I went back to Atlanta. That's where I'm from. I represent the A, baby, all day, baby. True ATLN, UA. Yeah, shout to yell and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? I can't help it. I'm an Atlanta boy through and through, right from the heart. Hard from the start. I know that's 8-Ball MJG representing Orange Brown, but that's how we feel in the A2, hard from the start. So if y'all hear my phone in the background, please pay it no mind. I can't reach it right now. It dropped, and I just can't reach that son of a bitch. But it's all good. So I recently went home to help my daughter move. She getting her first little place, her first little apartment, her and her son, for the first time. So I said I wanted to be there for her to help her. Just it's a big time in her life when you finally get your own little spot. You think you grown, you ready to party, you ready to tell, scream out to anybody who'll listen, fuck the world, cause I got my own place, nobody can tell me shit. I'm ready to do this thing, so I figured, I help her out. Took the whole family, all her brothers and sisters and everybody. We went just to say it's a momentous time in her life. So when I get back to the A, every time I go there, man, it has a different feel. Every time you cross that Tennessee Georgia line, because I'm currently in Tennessee, you get this feeling, man. You get antsy. You feel like you home. It feels good. It's nothing like your birthplace, your stomping grounds, where you feel like you've made the most strides in life. You did the most growing up. And I feel like that every time I hit the A, baby. Every time I see that so deaf sign when I'm down by the old Braves Stadium, old Turner Field, when it says "Welcome to Atlanta," that's how I feel, baby. Welcome to Atlanta. And that's when I really get that nostalgia feeling like, damn, I miss home. And I know a lot of y'all be like that when y'all go back home. You be like, I miss home. But sometimes you have to keep it perspective. It was a reason that you left home. But for the time being, when you're going back to visit, nothing feels better than home. Because home will always be home, no matter what nobody tell you. That's where you've laid your roots. That's where some of your most fun memories happen. That's where you did your growing up. That's where who you became and who you are was forged and formed right there. And I know who I am was forged in the streets of Atlanta. I know who I am was forged on that east side, Thomasville, Four Seasons, early stages of my life, Techwood, down by the Georgia Tech campus, downtown Atlanta. Because a lot of people got this thing going on, like, telling all these surrounding areas is not Atlanta, which is true. It's not Atlanta. But you looking at born, bred, grew up in Atlanta. You know what I mean? Techwood Homes, original, the first projects of Atlanta. That's where, I was born and raised. I'm a Grady baby. I am a third generation Grady baby. My mama mom was born there. My mama was born there. I was born there. And two of my kids were born there. So baby, we Atlanta through and through. So I guess back home, and I'm saying, making plans to go visit the people that I want to go visit. My aunt, a couple of my friends, like my brothers, my homeboy. So I said I'm going out to see my friend Will, my homeboy Will, my homeboy Danny, my homeboy Dave, they my brothers. And that's how you getting old, when you start saying homeboy. I don't even know nobody who say that anymore. That's dude or my friend or my roadie, my bestie or whatever, you know what I mean? But I am what I am. I'm from the area that I'm from, so those are my homeboys, you know what I mean? So my dogs, you know what I mean? So get over there to go see, my friends. And then it's that harsh reality of life kicks in when you start to get older and you start to see one of your friends having issues and one of your friends having problems, health issues. It starts to bring things in perspective that we are getting older. You have to face the fact that you can't do what you used to do. And some of the things you used to do, you definitely shouldn't do. But just to see one of us not as big and strong and just vibrant like we used to be, it's one of those humble. I guess, is it humbling? Yes, it's a humbling and sober experience to know that we are on the backside of life. And I hate to make one of these podcasts that's just all down and seem like it's all depressing, but it's one of those type of things where you do realize that you're on the backside of life, when you're starting to walk up steps and you starting to feel aches and pains that you never felt 10 years ago. When you're starting to be incredibly tired, when you used to be full of energy. It used to be a time you could go to a club, and y'all can all attest to this, that you could dance all night, wouldn't bat an eye, go home, get you 2 hours of sleep, you ready to do it all again. If you went to a club and danced all night, at this point in your life, you'd be asleep for 2 fucking weeks. And the very least, when you wake up, your knees, your neck, your back, the arches of your feet, everything will be hurt. When it used to be a time, baby, I'm ready to ride. We gonna do it again. Wake up and do it all over again, like some of the rap songs be. But you gotta understand, you gotta temper that back some as you get older, because you're just not that person anymore. Man, you can, make it out to be whatever you want to make it out to be, but the God honest truth is you're just not that person anymore. And it's okay, because the person that you're not anymore doesn't mean you're less. It means that you're metamorphosing into another type of person, which is all right, because as somebody once said, I forgot the person, author, philosopher, whoever said that youth is wasted on the young. You do not understand that until you get older. Because if you look back at your youth, you'll realize that you wasted a lot of it. pretty much doing dumb shit. You know what I mean? And for the ones that didn't waste it doing dumb shit, bravo to you. But a lot of us, we did, and we always like to say we can't find time to do things, but you had a lot of time in your life to accomplish everything you wanted to accomplish. It's all about how you went about it. And I sit back sometime as an older man and realize how much time I wasted, because I could have been so much further along if I just had the right drive or the right person pushing me. And that's why I say it is very important that your support system actually be a support system, that you have the right people in your life to help you kind of skirt some of the pitfalls that you may have as a youth, as a young person, because you have so many traps. You just wish there was somebody there that you would actually listen to, because sometimes a lot of people have people in their life that help them out, but we just don't fucking listen because we hard-headed, and when we young we think we know it all. And I tell my kids all the time, take what you think you know, cut it in half, then take that and cut it in half, then take that, cut it in half, and what you absolutely have left, take that shit, set it on fire and throw it away, because you know nothing. So, and that's a true statement. We all thought we knew it all. And the question is, if I would have had my father in my life, truth be told, would I have listened? Because I would like to think I would have, but who knows? You know what I mean? I probably wouldn't have listened. Just like I didn't listen to the people who did try to tell me shit. You know what I mean? So I went back home, and you get this sobering thing that brings you to the harsh reality that you're getting old. I'm looking at, I'm looking at my man Danny, looking like, oh man, he's fully gray. Looking at myself, I'm getting gray. Looking at all the weight that we've gained, and you realize that, damn, physically we are all shells of ourselves of what we used to be. And I was looking at it and said, you know what? I'm gonna use this as motivation, because we get so caught up in saying that we're tired. We get so caught up in saying we don't have the time to do this and we don't have time to do that. But truth of the matter is, I find time to go out in the garage and have my cigar. Truth of the matter is, sometimes you find time to go in there and play that PlayStation 5. Truth of the matter is, sometimes you find time to go hang out with your friends video chatting. So whenever you say you don't have the time to do something, look at where you are actually spending your time, and you'll find out that you do have the time. It's all about having the time to do what you want to do. Now that's the key phrase to it all. It's not that you don't have the time. It's just that you don't have the time to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not something inherently that brings you pleasure or fun. You don't want to do it, because getting in there to go in the workout, getting in there trying to monitor what you eat and eat right, that's all discipline. That's all not fun. That's all work. And most people don't want to put the work in, because a lot of times if we just make a few minuscule changes to our life, it could probably raise the quality of our life by 30-40%. Not even big major changes, but just a little few changes. Like try to cut your sugar intake by half. Don't even try to say you're gonna stop eating sugar altogether. You know what I mean? Which would be really cool if you could do. But your first goal is to decrease it gradually till you get to the point where you can say, you know what? I don't need this. But we don't do that, because once we decide we're going to make a major change, we decide to go hard. We decide to go to cold turkey. And every time you go cold turkey, it sets you up for failure. So I'm back in the A. I'm feeling good. I'm enjoying my people. But my thought process, we having conversations, we laughing, we joking, but I'm looking around and saying, man, damn, we getting old. Is that how I look to them? And the answer probably is yes. But I know a lot of people don't take it as deep as me. I know a lot of people don't get as philosophical as me. And I damn well know, as Marlena like to tell me, don't nobody ask the goddamn questions that Mario asks. But I need to know, because my brain works in such a way where I need to know. You feel me? So with all that being said, it's sad to see that, we're on the backside of life. You try to be positive. You try to do everything you can to keep yourself mentally and spiritually and physically up. But the harsh reality is that we're all busting 50. and you're closer to that side than you are to that side. And truth of the matter is, your golden best years where you thought you was the real deal McCoy, thought you was a playboy, thought you was all of that and a bag of chips. Once again, I'm dating myself. All that is behind you. And what you got to try to balance that out with, if saying, okay, I understand that I can't move the way I used to move. When I say move, I don't mean physically and shit. Some of us physically can't move the way we used to move. But I'm talking about how you used to do things from just pure having fun, not worried about the consequences type moves, to now you're moving like I gotta calculate my moves. I gotta make sure that I do it this particular way so it can end up this particular way, because I can't take this loss, or I just know better at this particular point. And the more you become mature, the more you become aware, the more you become awoke, it seems like the even more boring life becomes. When you become, the more responsible you become, the more boring life becomes. And anybody can argue me down, that is the truth. When you can always be counted on to do the right thing, when everybody else out there having fun, it is boring to you, because you the one have to toe the line. You the one have to always be the rock. Sometimes I just want a motherfucker to be my rock. Sometimes I need a rock. So I'm sitting around and I'm looking at my man, Will. He's been going through some health problems and stuff like that, and it brought a sadness to me, because I remember a time, when we all could pull all-nighters. We would all literally see who could stay up the longest type things, or we would get a video game. We would have a beat that, where nobody go to sleep till we beat that game. We would stay up from Friday to Sunday to beat a game. We didn't give a damn how long the game was. We all took turns on it, and we stayed up and played that some bitch constantly till we beat it. And I'm willing to bet can't either one of us do that right now. I wouldn't even want to, because if I stay up too long, it messes my whole week up. I be chasing sleep the whole week. It's not the fact that you're getting old. It's just the fact that you value time a lot more than you did when you was younger. Your time is really valuable. In that old saying, it's not enough hours in the day. Sometimes it is not enough hours in the day when you're responsible and you're trying to do the right damn thing. But I look at my peeps, and I was happy to be back home, but it also brought a little sadness to me to see that we all getting older. And you can't even really get sad about it. All you could do is embrace it, because at this point, you in a fight to try to be here as long as you possibly can. But one thing coming from it, after seeing everybody, I devowed that I'm getting back to exercising. I'm getting back to working out. I got to get back to being disciplined, because you just don't see many overweight 100-year-old people. Most of the time when you see Lula Mae Johnson made it to be 103, she be a little thin person. You don't see a lot of obese or thick or heavy set people make it to 100. So even though I was happy to be back home, it was one of those wake up calls to pretty much say, Mario, get back on your shit, because you have slipped and you have become undisciplined. And when you become undisciplined, it leads to health problems, and health problems lead to an early grave. And I don't want either one of those. So I was happy to be back in the A. I was happy to see my people. But at the same time, as always, going home gave me that pep that I needed in my step, helped re-energize me, and made me realize it's time to get back on the grizzle, baby, and get back to what I used to be. May not get back to what I used to be, but I just want to get better than I am. All right. With that being said, I'm going to leave it right there. I want to thank y'all for hanging out with me. I know it wasn't long, but I told y'all I wasn't going to keep y'all long. I told y'all it was going to be one of those type of podcasts where I was going to get in, get out. Don't forget to hang out with your man on social media. Don't forget to hang out with my other podcast, Thing or Two About Life, the Total Podcast. Don't forget all of that stuff. So social media, don't forget to support. Click that support link if you just happen to be over on Anchor. Any little bit helps. We appreciate it. I promise you, I appreciate it. It will not go unnoticed, and every time anybody support, I will definitely give you a special shout out, special emails, special content for the people that support. So with that being said, thank you, and Mario is out, y'all. All right.